my company has put a cap on my ability to invest in 401k at 11% due to high earner status.
Yep.
Sucks.
Good for income, bad for savings, he says. Any advice on how to plan and save around this cap?
So let me, can I explain what happened?
Yeah,
and you talk
sure.
about. So every year, 401k plans are required to do a certain amount of testing because what they want to make sure of is that the participants inside of those plans, the highly compensated participants, either the owners of the company or the folks that make over a certain income threshold, it's around $150,000 this year. Those types of folks are not benefiting disproportionately to what they call the non-highly compensated employee class, anyone that's under $150,000 or so dollars inside the plan. And so every year you have to do testing to say, okay, this group of people did not receive a benefit that was substantially greater than this group of people. Unless a majority, I don't know if it's a majority, that's hyperbole, that may not be accurate, but I think a good number of plans now actually operate as what are known as safe harbor plans. And the way that safe harbor plans work is they say, hey, employer, if you will put a minimum contribution in on behalf of your employees, and it can be either like a 3% for 0, or if your employees put in 5, you match 4. If you'll do at least that much, then we're going to let you automatically pass the testing so that your highly compensated or your owner class, they can go max out their 401k. They can do the full $23,000 or $30,500. Even if none of your other employees participate, that's still going to satisfy the testing. Well, what's happened for David's company is their plan, it sounds like, does not have a safe harbor 401k plan. So every year, they have to make sure that based on the actual contribution percentages or the actual deferral percentages, that group of employees that's higher income does not have more going into the plan than the lower income group of employees. So the very first question, David, I don't know if it's a big company, small company, very first question I would ask is if I had a contact in HR or maybe I know someone in management, I'd say, hey, I noticed that we keep getting refunded these dollars. Have we ever considered amending the plan to make it a safe harbor plan? Have you run the numbers? Might that be more cost effective for the company and a better benefit? And you might be surprised that it might just have been set up this way 20 years ago and nobody ever revisited. Nobody knew that this was an adjustment that can be made. That's probably the first thing I would do to see, is there a way that we could get it safe harbor so that then my contributions are no longer capped at a certain percentage.
Yeah, that was the first thing I wrote down. Check first, see if this could be an updated plan to get you out of this hassle and also let you save freely and not be stressed out that they're going to refund, restate your W-2. It's a big pain in the rear end. And that's why the second thing, assuming that they can't, because maybe it's just the way y'all's compensation is structured is just way too expensive for them to do that. But I would then at least ask for your employer to give you some guidance on what the safe contribution percentage is or amount is for at the beginning of the year, so you can kind of know what you can save and know that you, for the coming year, where you likely will be safe on the contribution. And then that will potentially allow you then to ask your employer, is there going to be an opportunity at the end of the year to true up, to have a better, let them do some analysis or testing at the year end, so you can know if you have some year end bonuses, if you can put a little bit extra in without having to restate the W-2 and your contributions and all the things. But that's the way I would handle it, is that be proactive on this instead of every year having this bomb blow up on you. You kind of need to take an active role in this, both with trying to get the plan updated, or if you can't even get it updated, at least making an active role of trying to figure out what's the safe level of contributions you can make, and then maybe you need to squeeze the balloon a little differently and save elsewhere.
That's what I was going to say.
An after-tax account.
What you can't do is say, oh, well, my 401k is capped at 11%. I guess I'm just going to stop saving. While you won't have the tax incentivized savings like pre-tax contributions to your 401k, what you may be able to do is, okay, well, great. I'm going to do the 11% there, but then I want to, make sure I'm maxing out my Roth IRA, backdoor Roths if I'm higher income, make sure I'm doing HSAs. And there's nothing wrong with taking that additional percentage that you were going to put in your 401k and just start dropping that into a standard, regular, after-tax brokerage account. And then you're going to go ahead and be building that step 7, that hyperaccumulation, that third taxable bucket. So just because you can't do it in the 401k doesn't mean that you don't still need to be saving. Your goal should still be to save 25% of your gross income for the future.
Your future self is still counting on you to have the obligation of saving for the future. You just don't get as much tax favored opportunity, but you still need to be doing it.